Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA.
And, Coach, we come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
13 yards on the game's opening play. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Here we go. 180. Here we go.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Demarius Randall. There he goes, right side. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that. First drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. Good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Now on 2nd and 13. Garoppolo gets it to Gordon. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help him at contract time.
And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So on 4th down, they bring on the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away. Greg Stroman back deep waiting for it. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Able to push his way through. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10.
Here we go. 15-1. 15-1. Get it.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a pass caught by Zay Jones.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Look at me. Zipper.
2nd and 10. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory right at the 40. Now back to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Coverage that time by Bobby McCain. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now Saquon Barkley. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Escaping the pressure right. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. He'll look to throw. He'll find Metcalf. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
The numbers for him from a week ago. 17 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. So the snap will come from the 3, but remember, they don't need the touchdown. They can get the first down if they get a yard, and the ball gets to the 2. He'll drop to throw. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Here we go. Ready?
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Garoppolo. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Here we go.
Garoppolo. He's going to look deep for Watkins. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43. A big play there for the Dolphins. 48 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Gordon. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 38, Garoppolo. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 21.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. On first down, Richard. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. From the 16, Garoppolo. Pass incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
So that drive began at their own 3. They wind up getting 3 out of it.
And to me, the mentality to begin the drive, that was probably the key to everything. Let's just make sure we take care of the football, give ourselves some room, and maybe punt it away. Instead, it started at the 3, and it ended with 3 points.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. They'll run with Barkley. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. He'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. There's Garoppolo to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On 3rd down, this is Melvin Gordon. Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. But they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So the defense there is opportunistic. So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Looking to throw. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. 22 yards there, a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Xavier Howard with a good coverage that time as he was there and knocked it away. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Hey, Charlie.
Back to throw here. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. We'll get this out to Barkley, complete. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're going to look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway.
Let's go. Let's do it.
So here are the Browns to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Second half begins with a run from Barkley. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now this throw caught left side. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards the pickup there.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Let's go. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
Protein spill. Hey, Foxtrot. Let's go.
Back to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. 10 more there and another first down.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Saquon Barkley, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead is up to 8. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And the rookie Saquon Barkley, the one who finishes things off with a touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Well, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Short throw to Disley. Now we'll look at Smith. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. We'll check on his status when we get back. Here's Matt Weil now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened.
They've got his man complete. And finally he goes out of bounds right at the 35-yard line. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. On the draw, this is Barkley. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. They'll set up the throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Jerome Baker right there in coverage. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
I think it's easy to say mission accomplished on that drive. The goal was to increase the lead. They did exactly that.
Extra point by Seibert up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. 180.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. All day.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards, the final tally. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
They run it here with Gordon. Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Flush to his right. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line. Hey, Haywood! Snap!
They'll look to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up a second down. Looking to throw again on second down. Garoppolo, and this is caught by Watkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. His second touchdown on the season, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. Great corner out there, not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping Chili on the other side of the ball, said, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. It's a big play there for the Browns. 46 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. A first down carry for Barkley. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it first and goal as they search for what could be a game. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his second touchdown of the night. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that.
And oh, it's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, times have definitely changed on the PAT, on the extra point, haven't they? A lot more effort goes into this play from both sides.
Yeah, because let's face it, a lot of time on extra points, the effort is not what it is when you're trying to block a field goal.
No doubt about it. And before, when the ball was snapped on the 2-yard line, it was really a virtual chip shot. Now everyone believes they can get to it and knock it away, and we know how crucial every point is. So the defensive guys, they spend a lot more time trying to get that done, which means there's more pressure on the offensive guys trying to kick it.
On first down, Garoppolo. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. This is Gordon on the dump off. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player.
Here we go.
While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On the delayed handoff, this is Gordon. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. Got an open man, it's Washington. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Garoppolo looks to throw.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. This is Gordon. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Here's Gordon, and he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Garoppolo now on 3rd and goal. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. And they take a knee. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left.
Go now. 18 games. Go.
It's on field. Hey, it's all around.
Hey, Zoo. Get it.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Eluding the pressure right. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. The extra point up and good, but this one was decided anyway, as that will be the final action in this ball game. So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for the Browns, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaud. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never